For centuries, the Knights Templar have fascinated historians, theologians, and conspiracy theorists alike. Official history paints them as pious warriors of the Crusades, monks with swords sworn to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Yet beneath this surface lies a darker, more mysterious tale. Some believe that the Templars' rise to power was not just about faith or wealth, but part of a secret mission to protect a sacred bloodline, one so ancient and influential that its survival could rewrite history itself. The Templars were founded in the early 12th century by a small group of French knights who pledged to defend pilgrims in Jerusalem. At first they were poor and humble, but their fortunes shifted almost overnight. Their reputation for bravery grew, and with papal support, they were granted unique privileges, freedom from taxes, independence from local authority, and the ability to operate across borders. Their military skill was only part of their success. In a few decades, the Templars built a financial empire. They established one of the first international banking systems, offering safe deposits, loans, and financial transfers that stretched from Jerusalem to France, England, and Spain. Monarchs and nobles trusted them with their wealth, while popes relied on their services. Soon, the Templars were wealthier and more influential than most kingdoms of medieval Europe. But the Templars' fortune was not just built on coin. They accumulated relics, manuscripts, and artifacts said to hold powerful secrets. Among the legends is the Holy Grail, traditionally imagined as a chalice, but in some interpretations, a symbol of divine blood. The Grail, some argue, was not a cup at all, but a metaphor for a sacred bloodline stretching back to the ancient kings of Israel, perhaps even to King David himself. If true, this would explain the Templars' extraordinary rise. Perhaps their wealth and success were not only due to clever strategy, but also to ancient knowledge passed down through generations. This knowledge, political, esoteric, even spiritual, may have been entrusted to them to preserve. Their castles, fortresses, and strongholds, scattered across Europe, may have doubled as vaults for both treasure and secrets. Were the Templars really soldiers of Christ, as they claimed, or were they protectors of something far more valuable? Their symbols hint at deeper meanings. Their famous seal, showing two knights on a single horse, has been interpreted not just as a sign of brotherhood, but as evidence of a dual mission, both religious and secretive. As their influence grew, so too did suspicion. To some monarchs, the Templars' power seemed threatening. They were not just warriors or bankers. They had become a shadow network, operating above kings and borders, answerable only to the Pope. By the early 14th century, the Templars were at their peak. Their network spanned Europe, their coffers overflowed, and their alliances touched nearly every throne. But power invites envy. King Philip IV of France, deeply indebted to the Templars, orchestrated their downfall. In 1307, he ordered their arrest on charges of heresy, blasphemy, and secret rituals. Many knights were tortured, imprisoned, or executed, and by 1312, under papal pressure, the order was officially disbanded. Yet many believe this was not just about greed. Some suggest that Philip and his allies feared what the Templars truly guarded. If they were indeed protectors of a sacred bloodline, their destruction may have been less about seizing wealth, and more about silencing dangerous knowledge. The official story claims the Templars were dissolved, but rumors persist that many escaped, carrying their treasures and secrets into hiding. Scotland is often named as a refuge, where Templars supposedly merged with royal families and noble houses. Over time, they may have preserved and passed on their mission in secret. This theory connects them to the Merovingians, the ancient dynasty of France. Some believe the Merovingians were descendants of King David, their bloodline blessed with divine right. If the Templars were sworn to protect them, their wealth and secrecy make sense. They were not merely financiers or crusaders, but custodians of a lineage older than Christianity itself. From this perspective, the Holy Grail becomes symbolic of a divine family tree. The Templars' true purpose was not the defense of pilgrims, but the guardianship of a bloodline with ties to both earthly kings and divine authority. Beyond bloodlines, the Templars were keepers of knowledge. Their relics and manuscripts may have contained ancient wisdom passed down from civilizations long before Christendom. This knowledge, hidden from the public, gave them extraordinary leverage over rulers and the church. Their banking system, far ahead of its time, may even have been one expression of this hidden wisdom. Thus, their wealth was not simply economic, it was symbolic, a tool to protect what they truly valued, secrets too dangerous to reveal. Even after their downfall, the Templars' legend lived on. Some say they influenced later secret societies, from the Rosicrucians to the Freemasons, continuing to shape events quietly from the shadows. Others argue that their bloodline connection still exists today, woven into the fabric of European royalty and global power structures. If so, their mission has never truly ended. The Templars may still be influencing history not with swords and castles, but through hidden influence and the preservation of a sacred legacy. The Knights Templar remain one of history's great enigmas. To the world, they were warrior, bankers, and crusaders. But to those who look deeper, They may have been guardians of a legacy stretching back to the dawn of civilization. Their rise, wealth, and sudden destruction point to a hidden mission, one that continues to inspire speculation, myths, and conspiracy theories. Whether or not they truly preserved a bloodline, the possibility reshapes how we see the Middle Ages and the power structures that followed. If the Templars' true purpose was to guard divine lineage, then their story is not just medieval history, it is the story of hidden power, carefully passed down through the centuries, still echoing in the shadows of our world today.